So in this video, we're going to talk about clear UV protection coatings for timber cladding. It's easily a question that we get asked, I'd say, every week, at least once a week.
It does, and what we get is, it's obviously come from the windows and door industry, timber windows and doors, that they like to see a clear coating, predominantly on oak. But clear coatings don't look very good actually aesthetically. It makes the timber look quite bland. Also, it doesn't give it any protection. You got no UV protection on any clear coating.
Because of the lack of pigment.
Because of the lack of pigment and the lack of the UV absorbers, which protects you from the sun. And it's a bit like us going out on a nice sunny day in the UK. You go out there with no hat on, and you're walking in the sun. Within an hour, you're going to go a bit red, aren't you? It's because you've got no protection on. So if you go out there and put a factor 30 on of some sun cream, then you can go out there and not get sunburn. So yeah. What it is, it's a bit like the same thing happening really. So if you get a coating which can have a small amount of tint in it and it has the UV absorbers, then you're going to get more protection. But also aesthetically, it will look better, because putting a coating on something like this, you can actually see the grain structure. It emphasises, it makes it look more like wood, and so you can see the contours of the growing lines and everything, and it gives it different colours, so it looks more natural. If that would have been colourless, it would have looked very bland. So coatings need to be pigmented, and that's translucent or obviously opaques.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to have protection.
Yeah, and we get, like I was saying, we get asked every week for a clear coating system for timber. And when you kind of have a conversation and you ask a couple of questions, what we've kind of come to learn is that when a customer is asking for a clear coating, what they're actually referring to, or what the end objective is to maintain the natural aesthetic of that timber.
Yeah.
They want to protect it from weathering. You know, they don't want to go down the route of something like a grey or a black or a round colour like 70160. They want a natural look and prevent the weathering of the timber. So at that point then, working with our coating supply partners, we've then developed a range of naturals, which in a lot of ways, I know you refer to it sometimes as a tone on tone.
Yeah, I think that was quite successful for us. What we do is we would select a timber, say cedar, because cedar can be brown and then it can be lighter brown and it could be very dark brown.
Huge range of colours.
So you could have 3 pieces of timber together here with a coating on them and they'd all look different. So the end user would have to understand that if you're buying into something like cedar, there will be a big variation in the shades. But it is important and to get that right. And so it is beneficial.
Absolutely. And then, so for us, so we offer our natural range for a huge range of species, from your cedars, larches, Douglas firs, through to your modified timbers like redwood thermal wood, radiata pine thermal wood, a bodo. This is a bodo in the vertical grain with a plain finish, and then even for a coir as well. And essentially, again, tying in with performance by design and offering the best system possible, what we're doing is offering our customers and clients a factory coated cladding system that's designed to perform for as long as possible.
In a natural tone.
That then gives them that natural aesthetic as well. And a perfect example of this, and there'll be a case study coming out soon, is the recent O'May's giveaway house up in the Lake District. It was on the TV over Christmas. Every time it came on, I said, "Oh, well, that's a nice house there, isn't it?"
£4 million house.
£4 million house. So
at Lake Coniston, looking at Lake Coniston.
Yeah. So that was supplied through one of our timber partners. So earlier on last year, I got a phone call from our partner, and they were saying that they'd had an inquiry. They were looking at thermally modified air use, and they were looking at our structured surface finish, and that the client and developer had asked for a clear coating system. Yeah. So then I was then asked to call the client, have a chat. So I rang them up, had a great conversation, explained that we don't offer a clear coating system, and explained what we would offer as an alternative. So then I already had a shade in mind that I was going to use for the sample, and then I also sent them a copy of a colour card from one of the suppliers as well. Said, if you have a look through this, let us know if there's any tones in there that you like the look of, and I'll get some samples done. So I think in the end we sent 4 or 5 different samples. The one that I was thinking was the most natural, and then 3 or 4 others. And about 3 or 4 days later, then we got a phone call from the developer, seen the samples, more than happy, and they'd picked one of these colours which had a very, very subtle tinge of yellow to it, which, going off the initial brief, wasn't anything like
clear. Yeah, they wanted a clear.
Exactly,
yeah.
They wanted a clear. So anyway, while they ordered it, we ran it. Obviously, I think a lot of people have seen the pictures and the case study from it and everything, and it looks fantastic.
It
An
does.
absolute dream.
You know, we was excited to get involved with this project. We didn't know it was this project. It was a bit of a secret, actually. It wasn't until everything was done and dusted after December that it was. We'd got the information. We've got the case studies. I did ask the architects at the time that I was offering my service to go to site, which is something we do offer. Where we can help with any information on site with the fitters, and also maybe in a few years' time, or maybe several years' time, depending on where the project is or whatever, we would always willing, if it was in our scope, to do a re-specification for the maintenance thing, and so that's something we offer in-house, which is available to all our customers, and to keep that project going. But yeah, the Coniston project was really, really good for us, and hopefully we'll be able to post them on the on the website soon.
And I think what a key advantage here with the natural range that we offer is it gives end users so much more like options in terms of design and aesthetic, because, you know, a lot of our customers are spending a lot of money on timber cladding, and obviously they're building a project and everything else, and at the end of the day, as much as internal finishes and furnishings are very important, when you come home every night after a long day at work, you want to be able to look at your property and go,
it's got to be looking gorgeous, as good as it can for ages.
So that's where, again, the natural range, it gives people more of a scope to select what they feel is more natural in their mind. Yeah. Because you may look at a piece of timber like as a sample and go, I'm not too keen on that. It's not for me. Whereas I might have a look at it and go, but that's gorgeous. Yeah. Whereas with a clear coating, what you see is what you get. Yeah, it's bland. That's it. It's bland. It's flat.
So whether it's on a Bodo or a Koya or cedar, it'll look bland, and
then it still begins to weather. Yeah. Within 6 or 8 months.
Weather down very quickly. I go on my dog walk. I walked past a house and they had an oak door and it's south-facing. Somebody put an oil on it and I thought it looked really nice. And it took 3 months for it to start to break down, especially around what we talked about earlier, around the mitres where it had been engrained and it hadn't been coated. I think it's coming up to 12 months now, and it's looking really bad. Yeah. And so the only thing that they can do now is to re-sand it right the way back, which will be very difficult, especially around the moulds. Then go over it with something with a bit of pigment in it, but still emphasise the fact that it looks more like an oak clear door. Yeah. So more of a tone on tone like we talked about earlier. So. Yeah.
So thank you for watching. I hope you found this beneficial. If you have any questions, please let us know. And please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.